The UK welfare system is broken. Let's just say it, shall we? It's like trying to patch up a sinking ship with a plaster. Food bank lines are growing longer. People are struggling to afford rent, let alone a cheeky Nando's. Essential workers, the backbone of this country, are being squeezed dry. It's a bloody mess. And even then we don't class all essential as essential just yet. We need a revolution, a complete overhaul of how we support people in this country. And no, I'm talking about some minor tweaks or adjustments. With great effect, we don't need to rip it up and start again. We need a system that's actually fair. A system that rewards hard work and provides a genuine safety net for those who need it. All we need to do is create wealth similar to how we do now, just at a much greater scale, one that benefits everyone apart from the lazy countries around the world are experimenting with bold solutions to poverty and inequality. We can't just keep plodding along with a system that's clearly failing. It's time for the UK to step up and show some bloody courage. We need to build a system that works for everyone, not just those at the very top. The government should pay people's wages and tax the rich and have national debt, just a mirror image of what it is now. Yet we won't all look at it with such hatred and disgust. Instead, it will be managed by the super wealthy, governed by the people we have working and their input to society. Okay, so we've established the current system is a bit rubbish and how we make for change. Let's talk about a radical idea, a £95,000 tax-free annual income for essential workers. That's right, you heard me correctly. Everyone helping the economy and daily running, or anyone who provides an important service to society, should be paid enough to live an okay life. That means enough money coming in for all your bills and expenses while you work, and then enough money to live a fulfilling life when you're done. And for those who aren't working, we're talking a £1,100 monthly benefit. This isn't about living high on the hog, it's about providing a basic standard of living. We also need to stop inflation on essentials, but we will get onto that. Now, some of you might be thinking, that sounds expensive, and you'd be right, but here's the thing. We can afford it, and I would know. I've done my research. We just need to be smarter about where our money goes. Which brings us to our next point. Let's be honest, shall we? The UK's wealth gap is more gaping chasm than a gap. It's like someone took a bite out of a hobnob, except that someone is the top 1% and the hobnob is the nation's wealth. To fund this grand vision, we need to talk about taxing the wealthy. And when I say tax, I mean a little tickle with a feather duster, like a proper no-nonsense tax that actually makes a difference. We're talking about closing loopholes, cracking down on tax havens, and making sure the wealthiest among us pay their fair share. Now, before you start clutching your pearls, remember this is about fairness. We're not talking about punishing success. We're simply saying that those who benefit the most from society should contribute the most to its upkeep, while being fair. Essentially only taking back what the wealthy consider as inconsiderable wealth. Yes, the type of wealth that's not going to be used for any other purpose other than collecting dust. And no, I'm not saying tax should be collected every year. I think we just need to look at prevented pools of money becoming the size of oceans. Look at what happens when power falls into the wrong hands. Yes, I'm looking at you, Putin, in Russia, but anyway, it's like a giant game of Monopoly, except it's not a game, and winning actually matters. Exempt those earning under £100,000. Absolutely, this is about lifting people up, not dragging them down. And you can't tax what they can't afford. Policy should be thought of in Parliament, not just here on the streets on England on a cold summer's night while all you mates are out drinking. You're stuck indoors listening to us. So well done if you made it here. Right, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say the herd of elephants stampeding towards our economy: inflation, labour market, distortions, the national debt. These are legitimate concerns, but they're not insurmountable. Inflation. We're not just throwing money at the problem. We're talking about targeted investments, strategic spending. We need to prevent inflation on key essentials like food and energy, like we are stopping a virus from spreading, which at the moment we forget to do. Thanks, China and the national debt, we are looking at change for a brighter future. Debt was always going to be high. That's just the way it is, but we can change how people live. While we adjust to new spending, we have to maintain values in the money we spend while producing a future worth living. And yes, maybe we stop looking at debt by governments as a bad thing. Embrace change. We have to stop house prices rising for anything under £500,000, making it possible for young families to start and for people to stay healthy while they work, creating a fairer and more just society. Yes, there will be challenges, but the potential rewards are enormous. A stronger economy, a happier workforce, and a country where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. And live an okay life, if that's what you make of it. Not one where opportunities are so low, pay so poor, and people suffering. Thank you, and leave your comment. We are Legion. We believe in give, we believe in get, but one that believes in our government and doesn't try burning it down.